Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidil anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Wa ba'd. When we speak about the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his life, his biography, the legacy that he left behind, instead of just listening to it, reading about it, it is of utmost importance that our lives reflect the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. On one occasion, someone asked the great scholar, Sheikh Manazir Ahsan Gilani, he was asked, when the Prophet ﷺ passed away, did anyone write a book on his life? When he passed away, did anyone write a book on his life? And the objection was, if no one wrote a book on his life, then how do we know how he lived? How do we know what he did, what his preferences were, what his desires were, what his actions were? Yes, later on, these books were written of Bukhari, Muslim, all of these books were written. But when he passed away, was there a biography? And this was a concern that somebody brought. And he says, let me tell you something. There wasn't one biography, there were thousands of biographies. And the person was saying, can you show me proof? He says, yes, just open up any book on the biographies of the Sahaba, and you will realize that each and every one of them was a living seerah of the Prophet ﷺ. You'll see Abdullah ibn Umar, you'll see Abu Huraira, you'll see Ali radiallahu anhu, you'll see Ibn Abbas, and you'll see some of the actions that they do. In every waking moment, they would embody the Prophet ﷺ, and it was through their lives that we were able to preserve the life of Rasulullah ﷺ. You know, oftentimes we think about, oh, I have a coworker, I have a friend, I have somebody I know who's about to accept Islam. Let me give them a book on seerah. That's very good. 100% we should do that. We should give them translations of the Quran, we should give them the seerah so that they know about it. But the best interaction with the seerah that they can ever have is the seerah in the form of my actions. The seerah in my life, the seerah in the way I conduct myself, my kindness, my generosity, my help, my aid, my compassion. When somebody sees that, you can give them 1,000 volumes of the seerah, but my life doesn't reflect the seerah, they're not going to really accept it. But when my life is an embodiment of the seerah, I don't have to give them a single book and people will be drawn to Islam in large groups. So let's think about the seerah, about reading it, about listening to it, about loving and adoring it. But ultimately what's most important is bringing it into our lives so that our lives are a replica and reflection of the seerah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring the seerah into our lives, and like the Sahaba, may He make us living examples of the seerah in our practice, in our words, and everything that we do. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.